What's up, guys? Episode 16. We are here with William the Third. He is a digital artist. I want you to do the same thing as last time that I had on a digital artist. Wait, pause, go check out their Instagram. Okay, his Instagram is art_by_William the Third, one word, and check him out on there. And then he also has his own website called C4D Center. And yes, I totally had to cheat that. I'm terrible with names right now for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that. So check him out. Check out his art. I think it really helps in terms of like framing it. We actually go into his art. I pull it up on the screen. I still got to learn how to like manipulate it a little bit better, but work in progress. First time. So we're showcasing his work, showcasing what goes into the work, how he does it. Full-time artist, only artist by birth, by design. He is an artist. So check it out. Check out his pieces, and let me know what you guys think. Peace. Stay safe.
Just hit the record button, and then just kind of as things go, I'll kind of touch it up a little bit in terms of where to start. But that's basically how I've been doing things.
Okay.
How's your Saturday going?
Another day in paradise.
Yeah. You're
Can't
down
complain.
in Florida?
I'm down in South Florida. Yep. About 30 minutes away from Miami.
Nice. How's the weather going on down there?
That's beautiful. 70 degrees. Can't complain.
New York is freezing right now. It's
Yeah.
probably like 30 something. I don't know.
I can't do that. I can't do the coldness.
No, it is. It's not worthwhile. Not now, not ever. I don't know. My dad always takes like a trip down. He's going down on Wednesday actually, and so he's taken off like he's like he just retired, but towards the end of his career, every single February he would just take the entire month off and go down to the Keys and just hang out. And so he's got like an RV set up down there, and he'll just drive the car, like the RV with a car attachment on the back, and just chill in the Keys.
Yeah. Keys is nice. Keys is really nice.
Yeah. All right, so we'll kind of get started. I guess, do you want to kind of introduce yourself and I guess how you got started into the field?
Sure. Yeah. I'm William Willoughby. I also go by William the Third. I started out with 3D graphics about 2016. I started doing graphics for like corporations, mainly like the Ziegler Inc., Les Brown Institute, and stuff like that. And I really only was doing textures and mock-ups until one of my friends introduced me to the CryptoSpace. And that was around 2018 when I really started like looking into like making my own renders and creating my own 3D artwork instead of just doing corporate 3D work.
Nice.
And then from there it was nonstop. I'm addicted to it.
Nice. And so your company, the C4D Center, right? You guys have basically texture packs and different color palettes and kind of everything else in between, or can you expand on that a little bit?
Yes, it's just me. It's a one-man team over there. I create anything and everything from textures to models. Sometimes I do little scenes. I have I give out a lot of my stuff for free. And the reason for that is I found there was a void for C4D textures. And the community really needed some good ones. And a lot of ones that were out there were selling for a lot.
Yeah.
It cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I wanted to help out the 3D community, especially C4D, because I happen to love Cinema 4D software, and really just give the community awesome assets. And I didn't know it was going to blow up to where it is today. To be honest with you, I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, the website is amazing. Like, so for me as a complete knowledge of nothing, right? How do you take a texture and begin trying to craft it within any rendering software? I guess what's your render software of choice? And yeah.
So creating textures, I use Substance Designer. That's by far one of the best programs to create PBR materials and textures. And I use a lot of photo references. I look at a lot of different types of angles, trying to catch lighting, trying to catch the grittiness of certain types of textures. And then I develop a workflow inside of Cinema 4D using Redshift, optimizing the texture maps to work best with PBR workflow, which is physically based rendering. I like to use physically based lighting. I like to make it I try to get it as real as possible, and then my subject matter, I try to make it weird.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just pull up like one or two of your pieces just because it's
Sure.
so actually the piece that I found you from I'm pulling it up. It's the Saturday Morning Memories piece on your Instagram, and so that was like the piece that I found you based on. And I mean, I have it up in the screen for people to see, and so it's basically just an old game, and the textures on it are incredible. The TV looks amazing. Like the games, if I can scroll in a little bit, let's see what it looks like on the screen. Yeah, so you can really just see everything, like the Ninja Turtles, the Excite Bike,
Yeah,
just everything. And so it's really just amazing what you're able to do. At least for me. I mean, everybody has their own take, but to me, that's an amazing piece of art, and I
I
was like a
appreciate
big fan
that.
of it.
I appreciate that. That one brings back a lot of memories because my Saturday mornings, man, when I was a kid, that's all I thought about. I went to sleep dreaming about my Nintendo. I woke up playing my Nintendo, and those are my favorite games. And it it was a great piece, and that sold almost instantly in the crypto art space.
Nice.
I did a one of that one, and it sold very fast.
Where do you typically list your pieces on?
I list my pieces on makersplace.com. I was accepted back in the beginning of the year when they first started really launching. It took a while to get accepted in there, but once I did, I hit the ground running.
Nice, nice. And I guess to your success, if you want to speak to it a little bit, like how many pieces have you sold? We don't have to really get into dollar values. I'm just curious.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, so on Makerspace, you can see how much I've
Okay.
sold, and they can see how much I sell it for. My prices average from 50 to 150. I just sold a piece for 160, but
Nice.
almost half of my work is sold out already.
Nice. And for me, another thing that's really interesting. I'm just gonna pull up your Maker's Place to just kind of scroll through it real quick. But how long does it typically take you to make and create a piece? Would you say?
Oh, these are every day. So I only spend about an hour to 2 hours a day working on a piece. The night before, I'll think about what I want to do. So when I start the day, I already know what I'm going to make. So it kind of cuts down the time in half. Because normally it would, like from start to finish on something brand new, would take about 5 hours.
Okay. So now I'm assuming you're doing this full time then, between the C4D and the making pieces?
I've been freelancing for 6 years. I'm on retainer for corporations. I'm an artist
Yeah.
through and through. That's all I do. I do graphics. I do corporate graphics, and then I do my artwork, and then I do the products on C4D Center. So yeah, it's what I do.
Nice. So how did you get started on it? Sorry, my dog just hopped up on the on the couch.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
But how did you get started into art and everything to that extent? Like where did you get started?
Well, I am a natural born artist. I was given drawing talent. I can sketch, draw. I have one of my most recent pieces. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but like this is the type of weird stuff I do when I draw.
That's awesome.
I've been doing that since I was 4 years old. I went to the Fort Lauderdale Art Institute for a couple of years. Started out in game dev, switched over to branding, dropped out, started my own S corp, and then started really diving into the freelance world.
Nice. So now, do you prefer to do the freelance work? Yeah.
I make so much more money being a freelancer than I did. Like when I was working at like regular jobs, I was a kitchen manager for like a chain restaurant. $40,000 a year. I make more money being a freelancer.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, so whatever gets the bills paid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Working with clients, do you enjoy working with clients and really making their vision a reality? Obviously, in terms of what motivates you, I assume a lot of it is in your everyday pieces. But do you enjoy working with clients and kind of really making them happy and like really bringing their brain artwork to life?
Yeah, I find a balance of enjoyment and frustration. One is because some of them don't really know what they want, and they want me to basically do a lot of brainstorming for them, and then they want me to do 100 different variations, and then they want to pick one out.
Yeah.
And that's the type of work I kind of just try to stay away from. The clients that let me just run wild, let my brain do what it does, and just go at it, and those I love them, and those are the ones that they take my first piece, they take my first instinct, and it always works out well that way.
Nice. Yeah, that's that's always been my take as far as artwork goes and stuff to that extent. I'm not a natural born artist. I'm not creatively minded in creation space. So for me, like, I have like some tattoos and stuff to that extent,
Um,
and I've always gone into it as, here's kind of what I'm thinking, but really whatever you think, and like I'll just kind of give that final approval. But I've never actually backed down from a tattoo piece after telling them what I was looking for.
yeah, yeah.
I think that like you guys having the ideas of like what's in the space, and okay, it's a banner or it's a circular logo, or in my experience is like, it's a tattoo. Well, I came in like, this is like a C tattoo, right? I have like a hammerhead and some other stuff, and finding, where's Finding Nemo? I can't find, there you
Can't
go,
find me.
Finding Nemo, over here. But so it's it I came into it wanting too many pieces, and like your expertise really helps to drive home like how something is supposed to look, and then how it's going to look best, right? And that's
I
definitely.
always, yeah, I always ask the client what type of emotion are they going for,
Mm,
because that's what it comes down to. Whether it's I'm creating marketing for sales,
mm.
or I'm creating marketing for engagement, or just creating this artwork in general, it always comes down to the emotion of what you're trying to portray,
Mhm.
and that's really the foundation of everything.
Do you? So I guess before I ask the follow-up question, do you have a lot of like NDAs, or can you discuss some of these pieces, or no?
Um, my corporate stuff is NDA'd.
Okay, okay,
I'm allowed to talk about my personal stuff,
gotcha,
but
gotcha.
basically, corporations and agencies hire me when their in-house team can't complete something
Mm,
in time, or they just simply don't know how to do something.
mm,
They hire me, tell me, hush up, don't tell anybody
gotcha.
that we hired you to do this. But
Okay.
I've done work for like major corporations, like huge corporations. I wish I can tell you them, but I can't. A lot of car companies I worked for, but yeah, I can't.
Gotcha. All good. Totally okay. I figured as much, so I didn't really want to hop into it.
No, no worries.
I guess from like a vague standpoint, like for for branding and stuff to that extent, like what's your favorite pieces to work on, either from your own space or like theme, or what comes to mind?
But when it comes to branding, I it come brand when it comes to branding, I like to do websites.
Mm,
And then when it comes to artwork, with my type of, I'm still trying to find my style. I'm still trying to find my own personal brand, to be honest.
mhm,
Um, I've developed over 50 brands for different companies, and it comes down to putting together the visual communication. When I put together final pieces that other people can enjoy, like the websites or the marketing materials that they interact with,
mhm,
and I see them interact with it, and I see them like using it and like going. It's all inspiring, to be honest with you. I did the branding for the this one I am allowed to talk about, the Elite Foundation,
okay.
which is a company that helps women who've been in sex trafficking
Mhm,
come back into regular day life, and teach them skills to get acclimated back into the world. And I redid their branding, I redid their website and everything, and it touched me so much because the amount of emotion that went into everything, and the amount of research I had to go through and look at all the stuff that these people went through.
mhm,
It it makes you feel, it gives you appreciation for what you're doing,
mhm,
and I'm trying to find that appreciation within my own self, within my own brand.
mhm,
I'm trying to find what really drives me as a person, what drives my soul, in order to make the best work I can.
mhm. Yeah, that's amazing, dude. Like I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Like that's no, I mean that's incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, it really, to me, as you were kind of getting into it, it really sounds like you enjoy being the composer to bringing about success for the company, kind of thing.
yes, yes,
Like
yes.
that's, you're up there kind of
I
guiding.
take I take that with I take that very deeply when someone hands me over their company branding and they hand me over their project, like they're handing me over their baby,
Mhm.
and I got to take care of it,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of emotion that goes into it.
Mhm. That's awesome. That like it's great to see, such a strong passion for, work, right? Like that's what I think a lot of people wish for in their day-to-day life, is to really love what they're
Yeah,
doing. And
and,
that's awesome that you have that.
and once I started doing freelancing with my art, I don't consider it work.
Mhm.
Like when people ask me, "What do you do for work?" I'm like, "I don't work. I create artwork.
Yeah.
I sit at home and I make beautiful pieces."
Yeah, no, you definitely. I mean, I can definitely attest to the beauty of the pieces. They speak for themselves.
So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, for you, in terms of you finding your own style, there's I have a limited knowledge compared to a lot of people in terms of art history, but I know that a lot of artists are known to go through certain phases, right? You have the blue
Yeah,
phase and
yeah,
stuff to that extent. And so, for you, do you think that an artist has to have like a style or a phase? Like, you know, for me, I think that so long as you find and you create stuff that you enjoy, I mean, I think that your style might come out and be
yeah,
retrospectively found, but I don't think that somebody has to go into it being like, oh, I have to work in blue. Like what do you think about that?
yeah. So it's funny that it's funny that you asked that kind of question. Me and the Disney Viper were actually talking about this, where an artist will just pick a certain subject and certain color palette, and every day they just work upon that.
Mm,
And every day they just practice with that same subject, that same type of lighting, that same type of colors.
mm,
And then there's others like me and Dizzy and like people who just throw out crazy different imagery every single day. It doesn't matter what it is.
mm.
But if you step back and you look at all the different pieces, there is a specific style within that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you can kind of, it's hard for an artist like me who has a bunch of variations of styles
Mm.
to see my own style, but someone else can look at it and be like, oh, okay, I can tell that's something that William created, or that's something
Yeah.
that Beeple created, something like that.
Mm.
Um, I feel like the artists just need to go with what their heart tells them to.
Yeah.
Just keep continuing. And I'm starting to find my own style. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm.
starting to see what I like to work with.
Mm. So I guess this is actually something I should have asked earlier. How long have you been doing this?
Like 3D renders for my own personal artwork for 3D since 2018. I haven't posted in Instagram. I just started my Instagram this year, technically speaking,
Mhm.
with the everyday process. But I did do an everyday process back in 2018. I lasted about 40 days. I got burnt out because I was in such a creative rut. I was handling so much client work that by the time I was done with my client work and I had to go work on my own piece, I didn't have the brain power to like do it. But now that I have time and freedom, I can spend more time and
Awesome.
focus on it.
Awesome. So, back to style. How do you describe your own artwork?
Surreal, striking, and vibrant is for the most part. Those are the three key words that I use.
Mhm.
And I like to get weird.
Yeah.
But then after I get weird for a while, I'll take a step back and I'll do something like a natural scene or something that's just ordinary, just to reset my my thought process.
Gotcha. So, as far as it goes, in terms of your night, then setting up for the day in the morning, like, is it just kind of cultural events, or how do you kind of ramble through your brain and choose something for the next day to work on?
I don't like to touch upon cultural events quite yet. That's something I do when once I become a little bit bigger. I want to start doing more current current event type of stuff. But really, I look at the pieces that I've done the day before and like, okay, I've done all that already. What haven't I done yet? What? How can I push myself a little bit further? What tools in C4D haven't I used or
Mhm.
something like that? And you'll notice some of my pieces are very very weird, but they all like contain like a certain aesthetic. They all have like a room
Mhm.
with the back wall and stuff like that. But I try to push myself with subject, lighting styles, colors. I'm huge on colors.
Yeah.
I studied color theory for over 10 years. It's very big on me,
Mhm.
and I just try to find something new. I don't like doing the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again.
All right. I mean, that totally makes sense. I think like if I had to guess, I'd probably gear more towards you just because I'd like to be able to take just whatever is just top of mind or comes to me and just work with it. But I think that I can't think of the artist's name. He has that futuristic Japanese style that's very like pink and like peach color heavy. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm terrible with names.
Maybe.
He dropped about 2 weeks ago on Nifty, but the
Okay.
I think that there's definitely something to hammering one style in the confines and like almost monkish, right? Like if that's a word, right? Like monkish
Yeah.
of hammering one specific style and like really becoming perfect
Well,
per se.
you have that Bruce Lee saying where don't fear the man who studies 1,000 kicks, fear the man who studies one kick 1,000 times, because a master is a master, and then a jack of all trades is a master of none, and that's where I find my struggle as an artist right now is I'm a jack of all trades. I can do a bunch of different styles.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to find what I'm mastered at,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I'm going to be focusing for this year.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of just that I completely agree. Well said. um, so as far as the space being new, what do you say in terms of like skeptics, or how do you really back yourself into this is my job, this is my career? Obviously, monetarily speaking, you're doing well, right? So, or however well you're doing, but obviously you're finding like a living in it. But outside of that, like how do you discuss digital art collectors to people or skeptics?
I really don't. I don't really. Skeptics, if they don't take what I have
Mm.
to offer, face value, I really don't try to persuade people
Mm.
if they don't believe in anything. Like with the cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, or
Mm.
crypto art and minting. I'll break it down. I'll show the benefits, and then if people are skeptical about it, or just I don't like to waste my energy with skeptics. To be honest with you,
No,
if
it's mental health.
yeah, I try to find those circles where people are already in that space. Digital designers are already thriving. I try to find those communities because I don't want to be in a community where I have to explain myself and like justify a bunch of reasoning, like, oh, why cryptocurrency is going to be the future, or why you should invest in Bitcoin, blah 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 blah. I'd rather talk with people who are like, yeah, I'm already doing it. What can we do to push this even further? How can we make this even better?
Mhm. Yeah,
Those are
I think a lot of the artists in the space are very supportive. Like anytime I see,
really supportive.
yeah, any art piece just blows up on Twitter, everybody shares, likes,
Where
comments.
yeah, that's the beauty of it. The crypto art space is. I see some people bashing like, oh, that's not really art, and it's like you can't say that because everything is art.
Yeah.
And just because someone didn't spend 40, hours rendering down a 3D art and all they did was paint something
Mm-hmm.
abstract, you can't say it's not art.
Mm-hmm.
And even those people, and we're having that type of conversation in different discords where someone will value, an abstract piece at $2,000, $3,000 compared to a render that took someone weeks to make that only sold for like $200, $300. But in the end, it comes down to the emotion of the collector.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to emotion.
Yep.
It's I don't know how else to explain it.
As far as like the vein of supporting other kinds of artists, and I really want to focus on you, but what artists that are like kind of like low key, or already mainstream, that you love their artwork or love seeing their posts?
I study the Dizzy Viper pretty heavy. I've been a follower of his for a long time. Martyrium, um, I believe his name's Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus Cazier. Oh my god, I love his stuff. Beeple, of course. Beeple was the first 3D artist that I discovered. And when I found out that he gave out all his assets for free under CCO license,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna create 1,000 materials, and I'm gonna give them out for free too. That's awesome. Like, so any artist that really helps out the community,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely follow. But most of the artists that I do follow are pretty big. They're already big mainstream.
Yeah.
As
so, I'm sorry, you're pulling?
No, I was trying to find. Yeah, I was just trying to find one more. Bill Ellis.
Bill Ellis.
Is
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. I recently discovered him. Oh my god,
dude.
Oh my god.
I actually reached out to Bill yesterday because he was actually active in the Nifty Gateway chat also, and
Yeah.
I love his pieces. And so hopefully, I told him I'll reach out on Monday, but he said that he would try and be on the podcast. So we will see what happens. But I also love his pieces. His pieces are absolutely incredible. Let me see.
Stunning, and that shows you mastering his style.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at his piece, you know that's a Bill Ellis piece.
Yes.
What I mean?
The what is it? The Wives of the Devil piece that the name is escaping me. the Lilith piece, all like the skulls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean his pieces are just yeah. Uh,
Yeah, so I look for those type of artists. I look for ones who have already mastered their style,
mhm.
and they can just you just know it's theirs. And I try to find what makes them them. Like Bill Ellis, his lighting, his style of texture, and his gold that he
Yeah.
uses. It's those are the type of things I like to study.
It's clean, crisp, very noir, like very
Yeah,
uh yeah, just I love that like Greek aspect in a lot of his pieces. Um
yeah,
I was actually going through it just to, the same kind of prep that I'm applying to you, and I was going through his pieces, and he has a piece with that I'm not going to be able to pull up where it's the Darth Vader mask, and it's surrounded in like a shrine of flowers and stuff like that, and it was just like,
yeah.
wow, yeah.
Oh, it's just yeah. I just love them. It's hard to find creative minds like this that can stick to one style and really just blow your mind every time they post. But yeah, he's one of them.
So for you with like the C4D, and I guess just really, I think that the digital art space is doing a lot to try and help people to monetize and like not be poor artists like has historically occurred, right? Like, every
Yeah, the
time an item
starting
gets
artist.
sold, you guys get paid, which I think is phenomenal. Like, I think that, as your work grows, it shouldn't be the, whatever, the piece that you sold for $1, you don't get any kind of benefit from it, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
have you, just as far as like the process and you like releasing stuff to the public, and clearly you're very talented, have you thought about doing some kinds of like tutorials on YouTube and like Twitch, like in terms of processes?
I've been asked for especially for my substance designer textures
Mhm.
because I get pretty advanced when it comes to textures. Like on my art station, you can see
Mhm.
my graph maps. And I've been asked multiple times to do tutorials. I just don't. It's finding the time. It's creating the content. It's editing.
Mhm.
There's a lot of time and effort that goes into that. And with the clients that I have and my goals for this year, it's hard for me to make time.
Yeah.
But Twitch is something I'm looking into
Mhm.
because I was on Dizzy's the other day,
Mhm.
and the type of engagement you get with your fans and your audience
Yeah.
is unbelievable, especially when it's live like that. So,
Mhm.
as far as YouTube versus Twitch, I'm probably going to lean towards the Twitch side.
Yeah.
But YouTube, my marketing side of me, my corporation side of me, because I collect Google AdSense as well,
Mhm.
is go on YouTube and make some money with the
Yeah.
Google ad. But I think interacting with the community and talking with others
Mhm.
on Twitch is going to be something for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you. I think that, if you get to a point and you can have somebody, do the editing and stuff like that, it's something that I've faced with like the podcast of trying to clip stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just so time consuming to do, an intro, or, do the voiceover, or, time everything up. And it's a lot of time.
Mapping out the tutorial and it's like it's a lot. Like for those who do tutorials and they release them for free,
Mhm.
truly appreciate all of you because the amount of effort and time that goes into that, it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think Twitch is definitely good for it. Like I think that you building that, face and voice to the name of and those
That's the thing.
pieces.
Yes.
And then on top of that, if you're releasing them daily, hey, this is going to drop at, you work from, whatever, 9 to 5 designing the piece, and then, hey, it's going to go live at 7. You can buy it
Yeah.
at 8.
Exactly.
So they
Yeah.
see everything
Yeah.
that goes into it. They build that kind of emotional attachment. You also get subscribers. And then, hey, this is going live.
Yeah, and then what Disney does is he lets people give them feedback and like ideas. So it's
Uh,
like someone gives an idea and then they see you making it and it's in a final piece. It's a part of them now,
yeah. Yeah.
and it's very strong. It's building up strong relationships that matter most when it comes to artists because you buy a Beeple piece because it's a Beeple.
Mhm.
You buy certain pieces because of the artist.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
Do you think moving forward, I forget the name of it. I'm just terrible with names right now, but there's an anonymous posting of art that's going to happen, right? There's a website that's entirely dedicated to buy and bid on pieces regardless of who made it. Do you think that, almost like Banksy-esque, it will kind of take off where people will buy pieces in the
Well,
hopes.
once they buy the piece, though,
Mhm.
they're gonna know who made it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they're gonna have an emotional attachment to that piece. They're gonna buy it. They're gonna find out who made it, and then what they're gonna do is they're gonna go research that person's artwork, and they're gonna be a diehard fan because they didn't know who that person was. They had an emotional connection, and now that's it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be stuck on that artist. I think that's a great idea. I think that will help a lot of underrated artists who don't get much appreciation find that appreciation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think the only detraction that I have for it is you might have mimics. You know what I mean? Like you might have people who are good from like a mimicry standpoint, and they go, okay, like this is how this person works, and try and copy it to then try and get X, Y,
You
Z.
already have that though. You already have that.
Yeah.
You have that like in so many different mediums. When it comes to sculpting, painting, digital art, no matter what, when someone creates something, it's gonna be copied by somebody else eventually. You know, especially if you're well known.
Yeah.
You know, I see other artists copy Billy Ellis. You know, they're not as good, but I see him try to copy him.
Yeah. That was one of the posts when he was talking, was like how many times his pieces had been copied by, I think, like I don't know if he can really like discuss it, and so whatever, by just different film companies and stuff like that. And so it's weird to see, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, why would you fake or create something that's so distinctly somebody else's and just not pay them? You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Well, those are the type of companies that make sure I'll never work with them, but you gotta you can't really dwell on that, to be honest. I look at it as flattery. If someone takes my style or takes an image of what I created and they go out and they create their own from it, and I'm like, all right, well, I know I'm doing something right. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because obviously the world wants to copy me. So, okay, go ahead and try to copy me because the next day I'm going to create something brand new.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of other hobbies, and do you find cross functionality through different hobbies?
I owned 2 music studios.
Okay.
I was a music producer for a while. I didn't like the environment. I didn't like the clients that I was getting. I worked in a lot of the hip hop rap space, and I just didn't like the environment. I love making music. I like biking. But other than that, to be honest with you, all I do 24/7, 365 is I think about artwork.
Gotcha.
Like that. Even when I'm out just grocery shopping and I'm looking at different brands and stuff, I'm looking at the box. I'm looking at the artwork on the box. Like I'm addicted to art.
That's awesome. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Practice the kick 1,000 times, right? So just hammering art.
That's it. That's it, man. Just trying to get better every day.
Yeah. Do you like for a lot of your pieces, do you find that you have like difficulty in terms of selling them? Do you prefer to, have ownership of them on like the blockchain, or where's like kind of that balance? Do you sell some of them, all of them?
Well, for the most part, I've only been releasing 3 editions to 1 edition. Now I'm going into only 1 edition. Okay. I'm not going to be releasing 3 editions anymore. Just because when working with crypto and minting, artists have to pay a gas fee to get it minted, and then we have to wait for it to sell. And if I were to mint every single everyday piece at the gas prices, I'd go broke. Yeah. So I'm gonna start minting only what I feel is my best work when it comes to that, and really I really want to focus on the culture of the crypto art space. I notice when selling crypto art, the weirder I get, the quicker it sells. And the subject matter, if it has to do with Ethereum or it has to do with the blockchain or Satoshi, it sells instantly. Instantly. If I use a Bitcoin or something like that inside the piece, it's almost guaranteed to sell because a crypto artist loves to see a crypto coin or something like that. And I don't like to abuse that. So you'll notice in some of my pieces, I only throw out a couple of crypto references here and there. I don't want to saturate it. Yeah. I hate to saturate stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. I've seen that with like a lot of the Bull Run piece and some other ones where like
They do very well. They do very well.
Mhm. So for you, are you like fully just engaged in the crypto space outside of the art in terms of more the coin space,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah?
Right now, I mean, I had more invested in crypto than I had in fiat.
Yeah.
Like in my bank account, like my bank account is less compared to my cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So, like my Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ren. I'm on Ava, Cosmos. I invest in a lot of coins. As long as they're on the Ethereum network, really,
Nice.
I'm invested heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. My buddy he works for Coinbase, and then he was like, I'm gonna put in like a bigger chunk. I'm like, don't you think it's like a little risky to be like working for Coinbase and then tie your future to what Coinbase is basically tied to? And he's like, nah, dude, this is it. So
This is it. Yeah, this is it. This is it, man. I I bought into Ethereum back when it was like $90 a coin,
Mhm,
and then I sold it when when it hit like 150 a coin,
mhm.
and that was like the biggest mistake of my life. That was the biggest mistake of my life. I should have never done that. I would have been a multimillionaire by now.
Mhm.
But yeah, Coinbase has opened up a lot of opportunities for me, and the reason why I trust Coinbase is because it's an actual company,
Yep.
and I understand the whole blockchain, decentralized, no one can own ownership. I happen to like to know that there's people working at a facility,
Yeah.
guarding my stuff.
Mhm,
It's comforting to know that.
mhm. So you leave the majority on that, or just in terms of
Yeah,
like
so
cold storage versus?
I have a couple of wallets to be honest. I have privacy wallets, like completely like straight up
Yeah.
private wallets. But for my daily trade stuff, just to have fun with, is Coinbase. I use Coinbase just to like buy a few coins, I'll sell a few, trade it off, and send it to my privacy wallets.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. I'm definitely a believer in the space. I am uh majority, I guess, still in crypto, but yeah, I try and have some kind of balance because I don't want to be overtly risky or whatever, but it's just a personal philosophy of just something good is going to happen. It's just I rode the whole wave up from 2016 to 2018 back down, and that was a roller coaster ride and it was fun and
Yeah,
everything, but it scared me a little bit, so I'm
it does. It does. It does. When we ramped up to like it was 40,000 for Bitcoin,
Mhm.
and Coinbase wasn't allowing me to sell,
Yeah.
I went into panic mode. But all I had to do was wait an hour or two, and then
Yeah.
everything was fixed. And the dip came. I was able to scoop up a bunch more for cheap, and
Mhm.
so we're already going back up. So that roller coaster ride, it's like I used to have fear
Mhm.
of like, oh my god. But if you sell while it's going down, then you're actually losing. But just don't sell. Hold
Yeah.
on to it. Let it go back up. Eventually, it'll go back up.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I have family members who over the course of 2001 and then 2008 sold everything in terms of stocks and stuff like that,
yeah,
and probably the worst financial decision that I've ever heard in my entire life. And
yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, fuck, man, like you basically bet against America. Like crypto is you're betting, you know,
That's not
with
true that you're betting against America or you're betting against the U.S. dollar, because the U.S. dollar is being turned into the U.S. coin.
yeah,
You can buy U.S. coin on Coinbase.
mhm,
I think what it's more, I don't know. I think it's better. Having paper money out there is backed by nothing. It's supposed to be backed by gold, and it's
yeah,
not. You know what I mean? At least this is backed by people actually using it, and the power in the coin is by the people using it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So we have the ownership of it.
mhm. Yeah. I definitely agree. It's one of those things where you know for better or worse, you just look at the money supply and everything to that extent. And, you can't do that with Bitcoin. You can't do that to an extent with Ethereum, right? Like all those coins have to be coming into existence through electricity and the mining. Yeah, I'm
That's a big issue currently.
yeah,
The amount of electricity being used
hmm
for minting. Yeah, I saw something about that.
hmm
People's transactions was worth 90 years of someone's electricity bill.
yeah, yeah.
It was pretty intense.
I think I think as time goes on, I mean, regardless of political climate, right, or political takes, I think that Biden is a step towards green and renewable and stuff to that extent. And I think as solar becomes a mainstay, and hopefully,
Yeah.
I mean, for better or worse, hopefully safety, nuclear, and stuff to that extent, energy prices will come down, and therefore, crypto art
Oh, for
prices will come
sure.
down, and everything to that extent. It was eye opening. I don't know. I don't have like a whole take on it because I haven't done like enough research. I did see the same post as you, and you know that electricity usage is staggering. It's just whether or not
It's,
like what would the electricity usage look like if it didn't happen? You know what I mean? Like, are those blocks still being minted regardless, or hashed regardless? I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
how
yeah. It was
exactly that
just it
works.
was a time period when he launched his drop.
Mhm.
Within that short time frame of that, it was the amount of transactions that were happening
Gotcha.
what caused all that. So like, yeah, if someone spent a year
Mhm.
and of minting and it would only accumulate it to 90 years of electricity usage compared to one day of just minting, is 90 years usage, there's definitely a big difference. But I think every problem needs room for a solution.
Mhm.
And a company is going to look at that and say, we have a better solution for this.
Mhm.
This is how we can do it.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely, I agree. I think that anywhere there's something to be solved, there's money to be made, and therefore
Yeah.
it'll happen. I guess so. What do you want to see as far as like the art space developing into, or where do you see it going?
I, I would like to see artists be able to sell commercial rights to their work using crypto.
Mhm.
Currently, right now, it's non-commercial, so a collector can only, I guess, take the piece, print it out, put it on their wall, and
Mhm.
be happy about it.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to give collectors the option to, once they own it, to make money off it, to resell it multiple times, put it on T-shirts, put it on posters, whatever the case may be. I want to see the business side of crypto art
Mhm.
really flourish. Like,
Yeah.
no more starving artists, man. That's an old saying from a
Mhm.
long time ago. Like, artists should, artists are important in this world.
Mhm.
Art is important in this world,
Mhm.
and it needs to be valued. And cryptocurrency is going to help us digital artists show value. Like it's a great time to be in right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're in the forefront of what is going to be the future. There's going to be no more paper money. People are going to be just using cryptocurrency 24/7, 365.
Mhm.
We're going to see a lot more artists, come out of the woodworks, being successful, being able to make a living, feed their family with what comes out of their brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean that's my hope too. I really hope that again that starving artist thing becomes a thing of the
Yeah,
past.
it's like, yeah, no more starving artists. Just let digital artists thrive. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I'm I'm gonna try and do some research into this, but I want to like the picture frame that's like right there. I want to basically try to make higher end. This is something that I have to do a lot more research into. But you know how there's picture frames where you just send pictures to an email and it just flicks through it. They're usually
Yes, yeah.
really
So
cheap.
there's actually a company.
Uh huh.
We were in the Discord on Maker's Place when we were talking about that. There's a company that's making these frames
Hmm.
for NFTs.
Gotcha. All right, already done.
And yeah, trust me, bro. Once people release his little displays and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure every company known to man who sells picture frames is going to be switching over to this. But yeah, it's definitely going to be that's going to be the new wall art,
Yeah.
man. You'll purchase an NFT, you'll swipe it to your wall, it'll swipe onto your wall, and they'll
Hmm.
be there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. Obviously, I bought that for a reason. I like it, whatever. But how much cooler would it be if all right, stay for an hour, or stay for 15 minutes, or stay for 5 minutes, or we're having guests over. Display the the packs and the beeples.
And imagine like restaurants and stuff like that where they have very soothing, seamless loops instead of just stagnant artwork.
Hmm.
It's going to change the environment. It's going to change. It's going to change everything. For a lot of companies, for a lot of brick and mortars, for a lot of homes,
Hmm.
having good artwork around changes your mood. Especially when it's like those seamless, very soothing, very like calm art pieces.
Hmm.
I think it's going to help a lot of places, especially for like doctors' offices and stuff like that.
Mm.
I definitely see that.
Do you think that there's so we're learning like a lot more? I don't know if you've seen the Netflix documentary, again, name out of my head, but
No.
the Social Dilemma. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
do you think?
we're living in that.
Yes, yes. Do you
Yeah.
think if you have stuff to that extent, right? Like, so you talk about the pros, right? Possible cons. Do you think that if you have the ability to have these digital artworks, right, that are always there and always changing, do you think that it could affect consumerism? Because that's where part of my brain goes
Oh
into
yeah,
that.
yeah. So yeah, eventually you're gonna opt in for an ad. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
my
So you're in the bathroom, you got a nice flower piece, you're brushing your teeth, and then like, oh, I'm out of toothpaste. A toothpaste ad is gonna pop up saying, "Hey, Chris." Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for sure, bro.
yeah.
100%.
It's gonna be like Black Mirror. Black Mirror
And
has been
then
like too on point.
yeah, and then once you buy what I see is you'll buy a frame, and then you'll be allowed to like post artwork on it, and then if you don't want to see ads, you have to pay like a monthly subscription. That's what I think is going to happen.
Well, I hope not. I hate ads. I'm not.
Everything everything's a subscription. I love ads because
Oh
that's
yeah.
how I get paid.
Mhm,
And to be honest, like a lot of people are like, oh, I hate seeing ads. You know, when
mhm.
I say something like I talk about V8, and then I see an ad for V8, and I'm like, I find that pretty useful. I mean, it's weird that Big Brother is listening in on you
Yeah,
and everything, but to be honest, I ain't got nothing to hide.
yeah,
I don't care.
yeah. Yeah, I used to work in digital advertising, and it was like a very eye opening experience. It
Yeah,
comes down to everything. You could
yeah,
just be like I used to come out. So I'm in New York City, and so I would come out of the train station to go to work, and I had gone on a cruise. 3 months after the cruise, they must be going. All right, he was on the cruise. We geotagged him getting on the cruise, right? So this is the location in Florida where he got on the cruise.
yeah,
So this cell phone went on a cruise. So now this cell phone is passing by this ad. It's been 3 months,
yes,
and let's serve him an ad because he might need a cruise, right?
yeah.
And
That's
I hate that. I
that,
hate that.
that's exactly how it works. And the sad thing is that this technology has been used in China for a long time.
Uh huh.
If you're walking down the street drinking a cola, they scan your face, and then the next time you walk past a beverage thing, they show a Coca-Cola sign.
Yeah.
It's it is what it is.
Yeah.
We're moving into the future, but I mean, every problem there opens a solution. So what I think is going to happen is people are going to. What I see happening is physical privacy.
Mhm.
Companies going to end up selling like face blockers. You know, I already saw a company where if you hold up a certain piece of imagery in front of you,
Mhm.
an AI can't scan you because
Really?
because the pixels on the image
Mhm.
basically shatter the AI's reading ability, and
Okay.
it doesn't know that you're a human being. It sees you as like an object or something.
Okay.
So I see with this creepy, we're watching you type of thing, other companies are going to come up with physical privacy.
I wonder if you could wear like a shirt. Like you ever do like the face recognition software on your cell phone, and the cell phone goes, "Oh,
Ooh,
is this a
no.
phone?" You know what I mean?
I don't do that.
But like
But yeah, I know what you mean.
right, like where it'll just be like I mean sometimes you have like the funny like picture of like the chubby dude, and he like scrunches down, and like
Yeah, yeah.
they tag it as like a face. So I wonder if you could do that with like a chest, like a chest logo of a shirt to try and detect
That's
from this face to that face.
that's what they're kind of doing. The imagery that I saw was it took an image of I think people walking in a park,
Hmm.
and then they like liquefied it. So they blended all the pixels together.
Hmm.
So the AI couldn't find the edges. The AI couldn't find the contrast,
Hmm.
and it just confused it, and they couldn't track that person. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. You're going to wear shirts. You're going to wear a collar, or you're going to wear a certain type of hat
Hmm.
that blocks AI.
Hopefully. I personally, I don't have anything to hide. I just like my privacy. I mean, here I am with
I
my face
mean,
on the internet, but
I mean, I look at it as beneficial because if someone snatched up my nephew or something like that,
Mhm.
like I would want to be able to find that person. I know that there's a big issue with this whole thing, like it's good for security, it's not good for the blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're moving in that direction no matter what.
Yeah.
So you either embrace it and work around it,
Yeah.
or you shun yourself from the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely it. I mean, I had yes. I had yeah. For you, you're obviously an artist. You're obviously putting work out. You're obviously selling a lot of the pieces. Do you self collect your own art? Do you self collect other pieces, other artists?
I currently I don't. I do appreciate other artists. My walls are blank, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I do that is because my mind. I don't want to be attracted by certain things when creating.
Mm-hmm.
I like to work in a space where it's blank.
Mm-hmm.
I will start collecting artist pieces. I did buy a Beeple. I had to. I just had to. Um, I am starting to find other different artists doing prints, and I will be collecting their artwork. I want physical form, and then I'll start diving more into the crypto space once I understand the secondary market a little bit better. Because currently I'm only just selling. I'm not really collecting as a crypto, in the crypto world.
Yeah, I think you're in a unique position where, again, I really love a lot of your pieces, and we'll kind of get into that too. I do want to kind of showcase a lot more of your art, but I think you're in a unique position in this day and age to barter. Trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I really like that piece. I usually sell for this. You usually sell for that. You wanna, you wanna
trade.
trade.
Yeah. I can see that happening too. Exchanges. Yeah. I actually do that with my C4D site. Like other artists will be like, man, I love your products. But I can't afford some of them because some of the products are like $25, $50. I understand some artists can't afford it. I was like, hey, you got any models I can use for some of my everydays? Send me a model. I'll give you that product for free. I don't care. You know what I mean? I do that all the time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think for you as like an artist, that's definitely great. All right, I'm pulling it up in front. I just want to talk through and showcase some of your other pieces. I have to actually adjust this. I just want to be able to show it off a little bit more. Let's see.
I finally just broke my 500 followers.
Nice. I am just editing the image to showcase the whole piece. Okay, so I have okay. So I have up the Immortal Judge from the 15th.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of my biggest, most appreciated pieces.
Yeah, I love it. The model looks very reminiscent of the 300 bad guy. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Leonidas.
No, the bad guy.
I
can't think of the name.
Xerxes.
Yes.
What is Xerxes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Xerxes. Yeah. That's. That's. Yep. I came from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I have been to love the movie 300. And this piece was actually created very fast on the fly because I was running out of time for the day. And I just started working on the model, and once I started sculpting the face, that kind of came into mind. Xerxes came into mind, and I just started going off with that, and that's why I did the gold rings around the neck and the gold trim on the arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was actually a piece of inspiration.
Nice. All right. Well, I called it correct. That feels good.
Yeah.
That's an awesome piece. All right. So I just had pulled up a couple of them. The second piece was Meditation from the 7th.
Oh, yeah, that one. Man, you're pulling up some good ones. That one sold out. That was my fastest selling piece.
Mm-hmm.
Within minutes of posting it, it sold out.
That's all. I mean, the piece is incredible. It looks like telekinesis with an octopus. I don't have a guess on the frame, but very futuristic. I love like the background piece to it. It kind of looks like he's in like in a hallway or a part of some kind of like ascension process.
He's in a sanctuary on top of a ceramic flower meditating.
Yeah, that's. I mean, again, it's one of those things where like for me as a novice and whatever, it's so far out of my range of what's possible that it just blows my mind, and I'm a huge fan of it.
Oh, I appreciate that a lot. When creating stuff like this, I like to think, all right, what's different? What can I do that normally, you normally don't see tentacles coming out of somebody's back, so let's go ahead and throw that in there. You know what I mean? And I started running. Once I threw the tentacles on his back, that was it. The piece just ran off with itself.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And then we have the sixth, keep calm and hodl with the hodl purple.
Oh yeah, my yeah. That's to the moon. That's my to the moon energy drink. That's my own brand.
Are you actually making it, or is that in the works?
No, 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 no. No, I wanted to create a because I'm big on like hydrate drinks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I wanted to create my own hodl, to the moon drink.
Yeah.
And you'll notice other pieces. I put that can in there.
Yeah, I saw the actual like original piece of the hodl to the moon.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I love like the steps and like the chilling out on a lawn chair kind of thing. The blue wave smoke kind of going on in like the background. Like the whole piece is just yeah. I love
I
like the
appreciate
textures on
that.
like the grass.
No,
um,
thank you. Thank you.
we got daydreaming. Very. I don't know if like I know that this is probably not as loved in the art community, but like it's very Coachella esque because like Coachella had that astronaut for like a year, and it kind of just looks like a spaceman on Mars lounging.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all. I mean, I like I like doing the astronaut kind of stuff. I like doing the space kind of stuff. I don't know. That kind of stuff just really just I don't know. I don't know why I even created that one. To be honest with you, that was like one of the most wild pictures. I think that was when I first started like getting into mega scans,
Mm.
and I dove into like their desert theme pack, and was like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like, what wouldn't you find in a desert? Well, you wouldn't find an astronaut.
So so for you as like a digital artist, what do you think is your biggest hurdle that you have to overcome? Is it just from like detractors, or is it kind of really like gaining traction, or what do you think?
Uh, two hurdles. Overcoming my first mistake, which was accepting low offers on Maker's Place. So that was one of my first things I have to overcome. And then the other thing is not being worried about if people are going to like my work or not.
Mm.
Like I feel a lot of artists are shy
Mm.
to showcase everything. Like I still feel like my work isn't good,
Mm.
to be honest. Like when it like personally when it comes down to it, it's like, man, I could have done better. I could have done this better. I could push this a lot more. Like, why am I not doing better? And that's really it's that psychological hurdle that you got to overcome.
So if you had advice for like other artists that are shy, or I guess for yourself
Don't
moving forward,
yeah
just don't.
yeah don't be shy, man. Like what no matter what people are gonna judge you. No matter what they're gonna judge you. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, ugly, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Put it out there. Do what's right for you, and then just continue to get better. Continue to evolve, and don't accept low offers on on artwork. Yeah.
What would you consider as far as like low versus apt
Well,
versus
see what happened for me. I can only speak upon what happened with me. When I first started on Maker's Place, I uploaded a few pieces. I didn't have to pay a gas fee.
Mm.
Maker's Place paid it for me. So when someone offered like 25 and $30, I was like, okay, I'll accept that.
Mm.
It's all profit. It is what it is. That's an old piece. I don't care.
Yeah.
But then that sets the value. That set the value of my artwork. So when I started posting newer work, people were only offering like $40, $50. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll accept that.
Mm.
And then finally, I was like, no, you know what? Like, Maker's Place actually emailed me and said, you're accepting your offers are way too low. You need to, they hit me up and said you need to start at least accepting $100 or more
Mm.
for your pieces. And I was like, okay, respect. Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate you reaching out and telling me. So then I waited for someone to start buying pieces for like $100, and then boom, that's when I started selling 100, 110, 150, $160 per piece.
Mm.
And now I want to get to $200 and $300 per piece. And then that only works when you really touch a collector. Like subject really matters. Like when you start selling pieces for more than $100, like you really have to put some dedication into the art. I feel like some of these people are just putting up glitch art and it's selling like crazy. But then that might be what the collector likes. And I tried doing like crazy abstract art and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I used to talk down on people who just did like the weirdest stuff, and I was like, all you did was throw a filter on that. Like that's not even art. But technically, I tried doing it. I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, well, definitely have more appreciation for abstract and glitch art.
Yeah, yeah. I think like a lot what you're saying is like, nobody's gonna value you if you don't value yourself, right?
Yes.
Like nobody's gonna love you if you don't love yourself, kind of thing. And I mean that's a
Exactly.
whole bigger like mental health thing. But it's just one of those things where like if you go, oh, this is trash. Well, who's gonna sit there and go, all right, I'll pay for the trash? Like that's not how
Exactly.
this works,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So
But don't overprice your stuff either.
uh-huh.
Don't sit there and be like, all right, well, my first piece on crypto, I'm gonna sell for $1,000.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put a price. If you haven't sold anything else ever, I wouldn't scare collectors away either.
Mhm.
I wouldn't set a price if you're new.
Mhm.
I would allow offers to come in and give it time for people to outbid other people.
Mhm.
Don't just accept the first offer.
Yeah. So now with Maker's Place, do the offers get canceled? Are they like similar to
You
eBay where
get
it's 24 hours?
No, you get 4 days to accept an offer. So I didn't know that in the beginning. I thought like if I waited, like the collector was going to leave, or he was never going to want to collect from me ever again because I didn't respond quick enough.
Mhm.
That's not the case. Collectors know that other people have chances to bid, so don't be scared to let a piece sit for 24, 48 hours to give other people opportunity to bid. Because once someone bids on your piece, that piece then gets put into the algorithm, goes onto the homepage, and people can see it.
Gotcha. Do you think that system gets gamed?
It was getting gamed by people spamming like comments, because if you put a comment, then the piece would get up and they would comment on their own pieces.
Uh,
They stopped there. They stopped that.
okay. Gotcha. All right. I mean, that's definitely interesting because it's something that you see across like a lot of different just selling
The more,
platforms and.
yeah, the smaller platforms for sure. Like the ones that don't curate the artists,
Mhm.
you see people copying other people's artwork.
Mhm.
They just go out there and take pictures of anything, and just throw it up there. Like you're always gonna get those groups.
Mhm. Do you think that the curation is I don't know how to really balance out the question, right? But do you think that the curation is good? How do you think is the best way
Yeah.
for somebody to really get discovered as an artist?
Portfolio. So I would. So ArtStation is a great site to get discovered by professionals, like the
Mhm.
professional industry. You want to make an ArtStation account.
Mhm.
If you want to get a bigger audience and fan base, just personal, then Instagram and Twitter.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then if you have the skills, create your own portfolio website, and then that way that will give you a little bit of an upper level when people are critiquing your stuff. Like you have your own website,
Mhm.
they kind of like look at you a little bit more professional.
Yeah, basically hammer the social
I,
medias.
I Yeah, handle the social medias as much as you can. Engage with your fans, and then like curation is highly important.
Mhm.
I don't post everything that I've made. Like when I first started out in 2018, I didn't post everything.
Mhm.
If I felt like it wasn't good enough, I didn't post it.
Gotcha.
But now I just post everything and just let people tell me if it's good or not.
Awesome. Nice. So I'm kind of out of questions. If you were in my shoes, what what would you want to ask yourself? What do you want to talk about?
uh, I don't know. I don't ask questions a lot, to be honest with you. I had no idea. I don't even know how you came up with all these questions, to be honest with
It's all just curiosity, man.
you.
I am the cat that's gonna get killed.
No, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I haven't. I would like to see, honestly, on. I would like to see collectors do this type of stuff because I want to find information about collectors. I want to know what drives them. I want to know how they value pieces, or are they just throwing extra money that they have in their wallets at stuff in
Mhm.
hopes that one of the artists will blow up. Like
Yeah.
I would love to learn more about collectors.
Mhm. Yeah. I've definitely I've reached out to a couple. I'm gonna see what I can do in terms of getting them on. Some of them are
Nice.
living the big baller lifestyle, and some of them are just chilling
Yeah.
in the community and stuff. I mean, you see the guy Ab and Pablo and stuff to that extent.
Yeah,
Silver
Pablo.
Surfer,
Yeah.
Seven's their name. They just buy up,
Max Stealth. You got some big names out there that are just like
throwing money around. throwing
Yeah.
money around.
What I would like to see in the crypto space is something for charities. So I would like to do a gallery of my artwork, and then 50% of all sales I would like to donate to the foundation that I help, the Elite Foundation.
Yeah,
I want to see more of that stuff inside cryptocurrency.
nice.
I
Yeah,
hope more people will do that too.
yeah. I mean, I think
Those
the
big guys can help. Those big
yes,
guys can help.
yes. I mean, I think the money is so fast right now that the donations that would be capable, and the next generation of millionaires and possibly billionaires that's getting almost minted, right?
Yeah,
Are should be thankful. Obviously, they put in work and they were early and they were
of course.
adopters.
Yeah,
But it's one of those things where, yeah, I think that it's one of those things where my buddy, we call him Wiz, he talks about how you can't help others until you help yourself, right? In terms of like monetary situations, stuff like that. And it was one of those things where, like, if you're not a millionaire, like, how can I be life changing or game changing in terms of opportunity to somebody else?
you can always go to a shelter and help
Yes,
somebody. You know, you can, man. You don't need money to help people.
I agree with
You
that.
don't,
Yes, this was a more acute thing in terms of a GoFundMe that
yeah,
a
yeah.
friend had sent.
No,
Um,
I hear you.
yeah, I
I
definitely.
just
Sorry, you go, you go.
no, no. I was gonna say, I feel some of these collectors would truly impact a lot of lives,
Mm,
and not just an artist's life, and they can go buy a new house or something. But
mm,
like, if an artist, links up with the foundation, like you can true like that money can be used for so much good. Like it really can, and I think I would really like to see that in the crypto space.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, as far as you being able to do it, I think it'd be a cool piece or set for you to do, like a women's empowerment set.
I'm trying. What I'm doing is I'm planning with one of my friends, Godfrey Meyer,
Mm,
aka GM3 Beats. He's a VR developer. He develops worlds and galleries.
mm,
And what I want to do with him is I want to create a gallery, link up with Maker's Place, and try to get it showcased live, and then do an actual live auction, like someone with a gavel
yeah.
in there, like sold. Give that experience,
Mm,
and then like I want to donate 50% of everything.
yeah, yeah. No, that'd be awesome.
Just give it to charities that need it,
Yeah,
not just one, but need it.
yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Um, that's it for me. That's a great
Yeah,
close. That's the important piece. Some people are gonna skip to the end. They're
awesome,
gonna see
awesome.
that. That's the meat. You know what I mean. Thank
I
you
love
for
it,
the time,
man.
man. I really appreciate it.
I
Um,
appreciate you reaching out and giving me this opportunity, man. Like for real, this was fun. This was enlightening. It was good.
it's interesting, dude. That's it. Like I just have an interest in things, and it's easy. Like, I'm just doing what I like right now. It's not money for me or anything like that. I like sitting down. People like to
That
talk about.
passion,
Mhm.
that passion will turn into a profit.
I hope so, but I'm not. It's not an
Don't
end goal.
don't look don't look yeah
Yeah.
don't look for angles and don't look for the profit.
Mhm.
Just follow the passion, and the
Yeah.
profit comes with it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It just happens that way.
If it happens, I'll be happy. If it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna keep doing this until I'm not happy with it. That's it.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. Um,
Not a problem. I appreciate you having me.
thanks, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
What's up, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed it and had as much fun as I did with it. I really enjoyed talking to him. He had a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of insights. I really appreciated his take of, the person who practices 1,000 kicks. And I know that's just a quote, but that's something that him bringing up really helps to motivate me in terms of my day-to-day life. It's very applicable. Just practice, practice, practice. And so I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys had some takeaways. If you guys have any questions, concerns, issues, tissues, down below, comment. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it. Love you. Peace.